Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Doom 2016. uh this was fun. I actually never got into the older Dooms a lot and played them. I think everyone's played Doom at least once in their life. Cause at least for me it's gonna be different for everyone, but I actually played a lot of PC games. I was just around it more and it was more available and there was always kind of a computer in the house. Those big old things. But yeah, it was fun. But it was like so touchy because it was like here and there. I never got into Doom that much, but you know about it. You don't really ever forget it. It's the only game with like giant capital letters in it, or the most well-known one. And it's just iconic, especially looking back at it now, like the picture of the Doom guy and all his weird facial animations and shotguns and bullets and reloading and monsters and hallways, and it was really cool, very iconic. But I just wasn't really into that stuff. But this game was great because it kind of made up for all that. Just like retro gaming in general, I always dabbled with it, but I was never... I mean, how do you define retro gaming, I guess, right? Because, like, I played so much of it, but I was so young at the time. So it was just a lot easier for me to kind of play, not modern games, but at the time, modern. Pretty much everything after stuff like Doom and all that. So this game is a great way to get that fix. And I don't know, it just feels good to play because it's, you want to be a part of the club, but maybe you were just waiting for your time, or for like, well, yeah, just time, just a better time to kind of get into it and experience it for yourself and have that opportunity to do so. And that's where this game really came in handy, is because this is why people make reboots, remakes, remasters, is for those unfortunate ones who just either weren't around at the time literally, or were just so young that they couldn't really comprehend it. And because either like things stick with you or they don't. But at an early age, there's some things that are gonna stay around and there's some things that aren't. It's always cool to be like, hey, I was there, or I knew about it, or played, or participated in some fashion, but yeah, it's cool. I think this came, like, these things come out, there's plans in motion. These things come out when they do for a reason. It's all data. You know, they grow up and that's why I love these. They're always done so well too, and they're always done in a way where there's gonna be a lot of differences, and that'll kind of be a hard part for people who have kind of always just been there. It's just like with anything though, it's like, you know, hey, I'm glad I was there, just kind of barely skimming the surface, but I wasn't there. I wasn't like an adult when a lot of, I think, big things, even that are still around today, were first a thing. So it's kind of tough, because it's not so much that I want to fit in or blend in, but it's more so like I've always been interested in it myself, but I'm not gonna go back and play this thing that's made out of like 2 pixels that I just cannot process. You look around and it just, something's off. Like, it doesn't feel right. I don't know. Yeah, this is cool. Cutscenes look good. And the cutscenes are they're a little spotty. They're not, they're like, they're there, but they're really brief. They're really, the game definitely didn't lean too heavy on... Well, is there really much of a story? I mean, dude, everyone knows Doom by now. Everyone knows of it, about it, something. It's a dude killing demons. That's... I mean, is there really much else to it? The premise of this game was to emphasize FPS, and there's a time... This was one of the many influential games that kind of established all that. Just all the history, yada yada. It's all common knowledge, but... There is some downsides for me. The game was fun. It was fast. It's not really like my type of game, but I did it. I got through it. I beat it. I played it. It was hard. It was hard though. I mean, we don't even have to think of like difficulty at this point. It's just the simple fact that, like, you know, this isn't a very common type of game to just come around. You know, a lot of people are used to dabbling in fighting games, dabbling in racing games, some open worlds here and there, some A to Bs. But this was like... This was weird because it was like, you know, hey, you can explore, there is secrets, find all the upgrades, look around for ammo, look around for health. Because it comes in such small increments, and it's really tedious. I get why it is that way. It's just, it kind of sucks. Like, oh, I'm fully healed. Oh no, I'm not. Oh, I have all this ammo. Now I don't. It's just, it'll happen constantly, like over and over. So that's annoying. The movement felt cool, but it felt a little stiff. It's just so linear. Like, it's a hard game to wrap my head around because I just wasn't used to it. I'm sure I've played FPSs, I've played third-person games, a little bit of everything. But when I did end up playing this, it was just, it took a minute to get used to. That's for damn sure. I was like, oh shit, I actually like have to like move around and dodge and strafe, a lot of strafing. There's a whole movement, a whole like skill set behind it. And I've played the older games. I've seen gameplay of the older games and stuff like that, and they are similar in that way, which is good. They kept the formula that they originally went for. They know what they were doing. They're the only ones that do it the way that they do it, the right way. But I was so interested and so intrigued that I was willing to go through and be like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna get my ass kicked for a little bit. Let's just like chill out for a moment, take a break, relax, breathe, calm down, focus. Focus is a big one. But the downside I was trying to get to was that this is all great and all, moving fast, feeling good about it, getting better. You know, really getting to know your weapons and weapon switching, mobility. Like, you have to take a lot of things into account. But with this game, with this 3D old style remake, and this is my issue with a few things similar to this, around the same time that this actually originally came out. Funny enough, but yeah, I don't know, like, it's just wonky. Like, it's hard for me to hit my targets. And you could argue it's a skill thing or an aim thing. But I also played this on consoles, so I mean, you gotta give me some credit here. This is a better game to play on PC, I get that. It's definitely more favored towards, you know, these little clicky switch style things. Forward, back, left, right. And, it's just very loose. And it's just like, okay, I can have my reticle on a guy, I can use a shotgun, I can use whatever, I can still make it through, figure it out, get better, all these things, but like, it doesn't change the fact that it's still like a 3D thing trying to do a 2D thing. And unfortunately, that's a problem for me, because it's like everything just bounces off of these guys, or like, okay, my gun is on them, but it's like they're so curvy, and I feel like I'm constantly ricocheting everything off of them. Like, it's so fucking frustrating. I don't even think it was until about halfway into the game, literally, where I really just kind of like was able to do what I needed to do. But the learning curve is so demanding. It's so like, hey, you're playing what used to be a 2D, well, 3D, but very straightforward, kind of linear shooter experience, and you're making it into this bouncy, kind of sloppy, ultra precise kind of thing. Which I get why they do this, because it's like, okay, technology changes, things are more precise, things are more... There's no arcadiness at all. Like, you can argue the running and gunning and shooting, and that's arcadey in of itself, but it's not like... It's not like, you know, I see my target, I hit it. My thing's on there. It's like, you know when you're a good shot or not, or you know when you're... Obviously, this all depends on how great the individual thinks that they actually are at video games as a whole. So that's a big factor to keep in mind. But it's like, I don't fuck around at the same time either. And like, I know what I'm doing and how to do it. I learn quickly, adapt. Whatever. But even just like getting a refresher of this, it's like, okay, I haven't played this in a while, or like, it's just, I don't know, it felt like just so, but that aside, I mean, it's gonna be one of those weird things where it's gonna be like an individual's perspective. I'm gonna say this, you know, homie's gonna say, oh, it's no problem for me, oh, it's fine for me. Okay, well, that's great for you, supposedly, but and like normally this kind of thing is never like an issue for me. It's like, hey, I either hit my target or I don't, and I'm fine with it, and I live with it. Here, it's like, um, I don't know. It felt it's almost like a ghost bullet type of situation. Like I know I'm hitting my targets, and whether you can actually tell that your bullets are literally hitting the targets or not, or phasing right through them, it's kind of interpreted here in that same kind of way where it's like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, but something just feels so like not there. Whatever. But besides that, I love all the demon shit, all the pentagrams and blood and red and gore and uh hell and Mars, and it's cool. I like that shit. Who doesn't? It's a very like um I mean, if you like action, if you like, it's such a basic thing to be into because it's like, oh, evil, cool, chaos, rebellion, revolt, destruction. Like, it's not hard to like want that or crave it somehow, some way. I mean, I think you gotta be in the mood for it. But if you even get this game at all, if you boot it up, you're probably gonna be in the mood for it. I don't even, there's gonna be people that are interested and there's gonna be people that aren't. But I think even people that aren't will still kind of give it a chance because it's such a like out there title, like Doom, play me, Doom, big boom, let's kill some demons, uh big guns and strong guy and I mean, I love Doom Guy. He's so cool. He gets compared to like other cool guys similar to him, which wouldn't be hard to think of who that is. Yeah, I just love, I don't know, Doom's cool because it doesn't take itself too seriously. And that's kind of like the big thing they were going for, especially in this one. Like, not gonna lie, it's very cartoony, which it's so weird too because it's like when I think of games like this, it's like it had the potential, even with everything it has going on for it, it had the potential to be so much more like native to what it's trying to do. It tries so hard to off balance the whole like goofy, funny comedic moments um with the whole yeah, let's fuck them up. But what frustrates me about this is like give me Doom, give me whatever this is, but like just give it to me straight, you know? Let this be like raw and untouched and just evil and dirty, and I hate to say it, but do we even really get games like that? Like I don't really, the tough thing with the industry is that these have to be appealing to the masses. So, you know, if they were to go that far with it, they're looking at a much smaller audience. Which, you know, I get it. I think it's a hard line to define between what I want to do, what I like to do, how I should do it, how I need to do it. It's always tough. Creative decisions. But the thing here is like when these things are getting produced and made and everything's kind of put together and distributed production, like where is it in all that process where they're like, hey, we want to make this goofy, we have to? Is it really the dev's decision, or is it the corporates or something higher? Like, I feel like this game, this franchise and idea had a direction, but somewhere along the line they're like, hey, this has to be weird and odd and strange. Why couldn't it just be like fucking cool, like cooler? It can be, and that's what frustrates the shit out of me, is like, I don't know. But okay, it is a video game. If you want to find stuff like that out there, you might be able to find it, but it's going to be really hard. And this is my issue with like every game, is like they'll take it there, but they won't go all the way. They'll like kind of just stop themselves and be like, hey guys, we need to like make this kind of funny, we gotta do it. Or it's like someone's idea, because I realize these games need to be created by teams and there's a lot of hands involved. I mean, this is why there's credit screens, even in video games. You expect that kind of thing in movies, but same thing in video games, right? Obviously a very different process, kind of, but generally, yeah. But it's like, you know what, fine, I'll take what I can get. I mean, it's just an idea of like what could have been. Because that's the thing, if I'm gonna play this game at all, let me just play it, you know? Don't... I feel like they really held back. But that's just a perspective thing. That's not even the fact that like, okay, I can't alter what Doom is. This is what Doom is. It's what it's always been. Like, even with the reboot in mind, it's still just as goofy as it always used to be, like in some way or another. But I think at some point in time, we kind of have to let go a little bit and just kind of be like, hey, if we're gonna do this, let's just do it, you know? Fuck it, just don't mess around, just do it. But you know, I don't work in the game space, so I have no idea how these things go. I like the formula. I like that every game does do something like this. Like, hey, we have to kind of like take it back a notch. But the point is, it's a business. They just want to make some money, and granted, this is not a family-friendly PG-13 T for teen game by any means. But what kind of teenager isn't going to get their hands on this? What kind of kid isn't going to get their hands on Doom? Just like with any, you know, rated M for mature game. So that they're thinking that as well, like kids, whether legally it's this way or not, whatever, no one cares. So obviously, okay, you know, they're not gonna take it that far, because that's the problem, is that like it's such a loose system where it's like, hey, you're not joining some exclusive club and necessarily, well, I mean, yeah, you are, but you're not like giving someone an ID and this is only for you and it has to register to your eyes, you know, like there's no safe system here. So it's like, that's also what they are thinking of. It's not just appealing to all kinds of people all across the world. I like that games think big. I like that movies think big. The media, the industry. And I respect that. But man, it's the kids, man. You know, but what's funny with that argument is that there's already so much imagery and stuff going on here anyway. Like, if there's any sort of corruption to kids, it's already happened. If you're letting kids play games at all, it's already happened. Watching TV, forget it, dude. You've already lost that battle. But you know, like, hey, even if you're trying to not get kids get into demonology and just people, it's already too late for that. I mean, dude, that's the thing. It's like we're so influenced by these things around us all the time as it is that's why I don't think games or movies, dude, even movies, honestly, I just feel like everyone is holding back with everything, and it frustrates me. With some things I can get, like, I don't really care, but with this, it's like, what the heck? You guys, we're about this close to striking gold, or if not more gold. Keep digging, keep going. Whatever. But anyways, yeah, there's some bad sides. The 3D's mobility and the shooting. I don't like it. I like the game and its atmosphere and what it's doing and trying to do, for that matter. But it's not like playing this was like, oh my god, I'm like obsessed with Doom now. It did not do that to me by any means. It was cool though, it was fun. The whole Mars thing, you know, just literally imagine like this random dude doing all this, literally. Like in real life. That'd be crazy, but it's so believable. Cause like this, I'm not even gonna like go into like this game goes pretty deep with what it is doing, if you want to go there. But it's covering all that up, and it's trying to be more of like a, you know, hey, there's all this cool stuff going on, but it's a mindless, I mean, mindless is a broad word, but it's a brain dead shooter game, you know? You're just like going around, Badoo. I mean, that's about it. You get your shotgun, you blow them up. But yeah, there's cool bosses, there's cool demons. This is one of those games too where getting spoiled is probably not a great idea, because you want to be surprised by that next demon you see. You want to be intrigued by the next kind of big reveal and big thing, because the demons here do matter, and they do have their own cool designs and abilities and all the guns and the upgrades. Gameplay is pretty fun.
Demonic presence at unsafe level. Lockdown in effect.
Definitely starts out slow, but it ramps up very, very, well, not slowly, but like progressively. You can slowly start to feel yourself becoming a badass and doing the world a big favor, saving the world, being some random dude that no one really knows much about, or blah 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 blah. And yeah. It's cool. There's not really much else to it. Oh, another thing I didn't like though, was the map. The map was garbage. It was awful. like trying to find your way around. I didn't even use the map the entire time. I was just like, dude, I'm gonna look around, get what I can, kill these bastards, get through the level and the phases and all that, and just be done. But finding the secrets I did find were pretty cool though. I mean, it was enjoyable, because who doesn't like a little bit of exploration and stuff? Like, they, even in the old games, same thing. But I do like that they had to put stuff like that in there, because they knew that they couldn't get away with just the simple like shooting. So they made you look around a little bit, and the environments are really cool, and it just fit, because it's like, okay, if I was actually Doom Guy, I'd probably be looking around as well for anything to kind of get me an advantage and help me progress and just complete my mission. And you really felt that here, like every resource mattered. You stay armored up, stay healthy. You know, how satisfied are you going to be able to be at the end of each level, knowing that you did what you did, and let alone the game. So yeah, it's just nice to it's a nice break from the shooting, because it's exhausting. It takes a lot of energy. Like, if you're trying to play this game while you're half asleep or something, I don't know. But once again, I did play this on console though, last gen for that matter, and whew, it's definitely doable, but man, that's like with my whole argument earlier is, well, if I played this on PC, I think I'd be having a very different opinion. But the fact that it's still a thing, that's what bothers me. I don't know. And obviously there's like auto aim. I don't even remember if auto aim is an option in this or not, but if it was, I turned it off. So that probably doesn't help. But I never use auto aim. I haven't used auto aim in years. If I can do so. I don't know, thinking about it now, like, maybe that wouldn't have been a bad thing to do, honestly, because, like, I don't know, it's just, I'm never gonna let that go. It just sucks that, like, I did play this, and especially for, like, the first time, it's one thing if, like, okay, I already played it, and maybe now I'm gonna go to PC and try it there. It's like, okay, I'm guaranteed there's gonna be some sort of a difference there, but, like, it shouldn't be that way. That's the problem. I think there could have been a better way somehow to, like, I don't know, to make them, it's the hitboxes. They're like, they don't want people getting away with just like simply aiming and like, okay, they're dead. But like, fuck, man. Yeah. I'm like still going on about that. It's just, I don't know. It sucks because I like all this other stuff. But the things that I didn't like just, God, man, it makes it hard. And I'm generally pretty pleased with most games, like, very tolerable, very accepting. Like, the fact that I let it into my life at all is more than enough of a sign that, like, I'm here to stay and I'm committed and loyal and all these things, but man, this game was pushing it. Yeah. Doom 2016. Pretty cool. Doom Guy!